Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Force Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Alright, a weird article kind of came out recently about Alden Ehrenreich and the effects that playing a young Han Solo had on his career.
I'm guessing not good. Because I haven't really seen him since Solo, and that was a while ago now.
Maybe
Holy
you just
cow.
aren't watching the right things or noticing him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it was a positive on his career, is that what you're implying?
we'll see.
So it's not a positive.
Alright, he actually did come back with a vengeance just this year. He was in Oppenheimer. He was...
Huge movie. Yeah.
Yes, he had a role. It was a good role. He was in Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Great movie. You should watch it. Like I said, he spoke with Vanity Fair about this. Like, he's had a busy year, but he has had a struggle to land certain roles following his run as Han Solo that he did in 2018.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years. He feels more comfortable now discussing how this process affected his early years in Hollywood, as well as the changes that Phil Lord and Chris Miller originally intended to do and what the film ultimately became.
Curious. I've always
Yes.
been wondering why they just got axed immediately
gone.
towards the end of production. Ron Howard comes in and has to do his thing.
He doesn't say much about it, though. What he does say
Ooh.
is, I loved the original spirit of how they wanted to make Solo, and I did it because it was this great platform from which I could do my own thing. But what I realized at this point is, I hadn't built my own thing enough to be able to do it. I knew that I didn't know myself in that way yet, and that takes a certain amount of time and effort and failure in its own kind of enclosed way. That's what I spent that time doing.
Failure can be the greatest teacher. I learned that from a
It
movie
can be.
once.
So it sounds like he's kind of admitting in a way that he doesn't feel he was ready to play Han Solo. He hadn't come into his own yet
Yeah.
to be playing a character that is established as Han Solo.
I don't think you're ever ready to play Han Solo unless you're Harrison Ford.
That's also true.
I mean, he's one of those characters, right?
I mean, I feel like I understand what he's saying, in a sense.
He
Don't you-
underestimated
Yeah,
what it was
but-
all gonna entail.
Right, because not only is he just playing a character, he is playing a character that is firmly established and played by, the great Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And he's not established himself as not much as an actor to be able to pull off something like that.
Well, yeah, it's next to impossible to be Harrison Ford as Han Solo. You know what I'm getting at.
Oh,
here.
I hear you, yeah. After Solo, he played one of the main characters in the short-lived series Brave New World before the pandemic started and put a pause to literally everything.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. When the pandemic finally ended, he did have trouble getting cast in new projects. He said, when you go back and want to do something, you realize that there's other people on the list who have surpassed you, and you have to fight harder for a particular role that you want. I've lived that over and over again. There's a practical arithmetic as an actor now that, frankly, I just don't have the stomach for in the long run. I don't want to do projects on that cut. I don't want to do things I don't really love if I can avoid it. With the cadence now, you kind of have to be doing a certain amount of projects. There are things that I really wanted that I didn't get. The heartbreaker is when the director goes, you're who I want, but I can't cast you because they need to have this guy who came off this thing.
The what's hot now thing? Is that what
Exactly.
he's implying? Yeah.
You have to cast the actor who's hot. You have to cast the actor who came off of a project that's going to build up
The name,
your
yeah.
project.
Yeah, you need those names to lure people in.
That's why you need a Pedro Pascal who's now doing everything because he's
Everything.
the it guy since
Yep.
Mandalorian.
Yep.
Disney casted him, made him really big. Yes, he came from Game of Thrones, but it wasn't a huge role before then.
Here's a fun question. Are you more prone to watch something because of the actor? Like Pedro Pascal. I mean, do you hear that name and go, oh, I think I'm going to check that out because Pedro's in it?
Me,
I
am
mean, not that it's particularly Pedro, but you get my point.
Yes.
Like, are you lured by certain actors?
honestly, me personally, no. But you know that even we had friends in the past who were huge movie buffs. They knew the name of every actor and
Oh,
all
yeah,
this
I
stuff.
know who you're talking about.
Yes, you do. And I was always like, who's that?
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
pay much attention, and I know that might sound weird, but I don't pay much attention to who the actors are. I watch a trailer, and if the story excites me, if the visuals excites me, that's what brings me to the movies. That's what brings me to a project more than, hey, I love that actor. Yes, there are actors and actresses I really do love and enjoy to watch on the screen, but that alone isn't enough to make me watch that. Like, I love Eva Green. I fell in love with her in Penny Dreadful from Showtime.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Disney's live-action Dumbo, and I didn't watch the James Bond that she's the Bond girl in, because those projects weren't exciting to me.
Sure. I kind of lean the same way you do. It's not that an actor will lure me to a project as much as it might make me more curious about some things. Because I'm like you. Like, I care more about the story than the actor or the movie itself. It doesn't have to be quote-unquote the story, but, you know, something about the movie or the series has to interest me. It's not just, oh, Harrison Ford is in that, I'm going to watch it automatically. Or Keanu Reeves is in it, I'm going to watch that automatically.
But there are people who aren't so in love with their actors that they will, and that's fine too. That's not me personally. It's sad that Ehrenreich is getting denied roles because he's not the it guy.
Well, he's not. Like, I don't know that, like, Solo was...
He doesn't have that punch power behind his name right now.
No, certainly not. And most actors don't, right? I don't think a lot of actors have that punch power. I don't think it's a very common thing to be the it guy. I think you have your 5 minutes of fame or 15 minutes of fame.
But that's when you get all your projects.
Yeah, you get that one little burst.
Like Chris Pratt.
Well, sure. But, I mean, some of them endure. You get of course, like the Tom Hankses and the Tom Cruises and...
Yeah.
You know, there are certain actors that have endured. Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt. You know, the guys who have transcended.
The ultimate actors, yes.
Yeah.
But then there are the smaller 5 minutes of fame, as you put it, where that actor's going to show up in everything right now because they did something that everybody really liked.
Yeah, so now you have to take as many projects as you can while you can.
Yeah, and it is part of the arithmetic in Hollywood.
Yeah, it is.
I want my project to make a lot of money. This is the it actor right now. If I get this actor, I'm automatically going to punch up my own show.
Yeah.
I get it. Ehrenreich may have encountered some setbacks over the past years, but he's been really successful, honestly, in 2023. Netflix acquired Fair Play at Sundance for like $20 million, and it played fairly well. He was in Cocaine Bear, which made...
All right.
It got a lot of positive reviews. It didn't make a lot of money in the box office, but...
Probably hit the budget for the cocaine was probably too high.
He wrote and directed and starred in a short film, Shadow Sunday Brother, and it's Oppenheimer that really stole the show from him, though, this year. He said, people who are on that set are thinking and feeling and paying attention in an entirely different way, and you feel like you're a part of something meaningful. Which is wonderful that he got that experience as an actor.
Yeah. As opposed to doing Solo, I guess, huh?
You know when we're going to see him next, right?
I don't. In the Lando series?
No,
the Lando movie. I'm sorry.
He supposedly, and I believe this is actually official, he has a key role in the upcoming Marvel Studios series Ironheart.
That's
that will someday happen on Disney.
I can't even remember what is coming and what's got scrapped.
Things are sitting on back burners, but that doesn't mean they're gone.
Still coming?
Yeah, that thing had like 3 title changes, but
yeah.
I think it's still in the works. It's the TBD box that they have sitting over there.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, moving into new this week in Star Wars, etc. Well, it's a quieter week. Understandable. For comics on Wednesday, we've got Bounty Hunters number 40, which is still tying into the Dark Droids overarching storyline.
Oh boy.
We also have Dark Droids D Squad number 3, again tying into the Dark Droids storyline.
Yeah, it's their thing.
It's their event. They do like these huge yearly events, and that's...
Well, they've started doing them. They didn't really do them until the whole Crimson Dawn.
Oh, thing. Marvel has always done them in their superhero category.
No,
with
comic books, yeah. But I mean,
Spider-Man
Star Wars
even gets his own like yearly-ish
Star Wars
events.
had a couple smaller ones, like the Vader Down thing, more than a couple years ago. I mean, they've done a few, but now they're really amping up to bigger ones.
We are still having voice chat on Wednesday this week.
Because Thursday is Thanksgiving here in the States.
We're not onto that yet.
Well,
Wednesday is also Monarch Legacy of Monsters Episode 3.
We've only seen the first one so far.
Yes, we have only seen the first one so far. I have to figure out if there's a setting on my TV that they'll tell me what people are saying in Japanese, because I only catch words here and there.
Yeah, we didn't get subtitles. I don't know if we were supposed to.
We got subtitles at the very beginning of the show.
When they were on the little fishing boat.
On the fishing boat, we got subtitles for what they were saying.
And then later on, there's like full-blown conversations in Japanese, and we didn't get subtitles. So I don't know if we're our settings.
Yeah, I have to look into our settings, and we might be having to rewatch the first episode because I felt really kind of disconnected, not knowing what half of the dialogue was.
Yeah, it's one thing if it's like a one word here and there, or one impassionate phrase or something where you kind of get the gist.
Right,
but
right.
They were having a full-on conversation.
They were full-on conversations in Japanese. And like I said, I don't know if that was just a setting for us. I haven't had the time to look into it, but I will. Because I really was hyped for the show. And the first episode was a bit of a letdown with the fact that I didn't know what conversations were happening.
Yeah.
I liked it aside from that.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I liked seeing the aftermath of
Godzilla.
Yeah, I liked to see what other countries were doing in response. I thought it was kind of hilarious that the cab driver was like, "Oh, that San Francisco was a hoax." I'm like, "Oh, you know that there were there's
of course there
people
would
out
be.
there. There's also the flat earthers."
Oh boy.
So I really enjoyed a lot of aspects of it, but I want to find out if I was missing dialogue. I should have been able to understand.
I feel like, if not, there's probably translations out there, right? Somebody would probably, not that that's how you should have to.
But you shouldn't have to, so.
No, but I'm sure there are. Anyway.
Yeah, and Thursday's Thanksgiving for people of the U.S.
Of the U.S.
Yeah.
That's how we're calling it now? Of the U.S.
That's what I said.
All right. Well, people of this audience, that's all we got for you this time. Now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. Tell us if you watched Godzilla and had some subtitles.
Yeah, let us know.
You don't have to tell us what they said. Just let us know if they exist so we can find them. Whatever the case may be, though, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars, some Godzilla, and whatever else. And until next time, thanks for watching.